Here is a chrome fin. It's not a Google Chrome, it's just a regular chrome. This is another fin from my childhood. I got this sometime around the mid-2000s. And I want to say that it came from the Target. I remember getting it, but I don't really recall what the occurrence was. I'm sure there was some kind of a reason, because we didn't typically just buy things for no reason, but I don't remember what it was anymore. So this is probably about 20 years old at this point, and for being a relatively cheap, what kind of a store would you call that? Not like a discount store, but just not an expensive top quality item store. This has held up remarkably well over the years. It is in fact metal, and it's pretty heavy. The blade itself is plastic. I thought it was metal when we first got it, and I remember being exceptionally disappointed when I took it apart one day and found out that the blade was in fact the plastic. It really is still in excellent condition. It's mirror-like finish, and it's pretty much flawless after all these years. I even recall using this in the bathroom for a while when I had first gotten it, and despite being used in the bathroom, the finish is still good, and that's really saying something, because the bathroom, you've got moisture and the potential to get splashed and so forth. So anything that holds up being used in a bathroom is pretty durable. I don't know what this was sold as. I know there was no box. It just kind of came just sitting on the shelf. I don't know if this was advertised as like a desk fan, or probably was called a retro fan. And I can see, there's our tripod kick for the video. But potentially the audio didn't just get screwed up because I'm using external microphones for this particular production. And I can definitely see the retro so-called aspects of the design. Kind of looks like the early century fans in terms of the base design with the switch on the back and so forth. Motor design is kind of interesting. It is a battery operated unit. Oh, there is information under here. It is the brand Independent Studios, and looks like there's a lightning strike out of the U. Holy cow, $14.99. Wow, I was not expecting this to be anywhere near that expensive. Oh, there's the branding table fin. It allegedly stands 8.5 inches tall. That's about right. I think the blade's about 4 inches wide. Yep, it did come from the Target, and the copyright date being 2006. Sounds about right to me. I would put it to be sold, 2006, 2007, 2008, somewhere in there. It was definitely before 2008, I think. I want to say it was probably the summer of 06 or 07. Sounds right to me. So it calls for 2 AA batteries. We're going to use nickel metal hydride batteries, and I'm sure some people are going to say, oh no, you shouldn't use nickel metal hydride batteries. It's not going to run at full speed. And that might be true. It's possible that because the nickel metal hydride batteries are only 1.2 the volts, it might not run at full speed as in comparison to using it with alkaline batteries, which are 1.5 volts. However, these 1.2 volt nickel metal hydride batteries might provide a better overall experience over time because of the discharge curve. The discharge curve of stupid alkaline batteries is, I think it's almost linear in the sense that, now linear is not the right, is that the right term? Linear? It kind of like, the graph is just, it goes like that. It's just kind of a straight horizontal line. And that is the voltage drop in relation to time as the battery discharges. Whereas a nickel metal hydride battery, the voltage will drop initially a little bit, and then it kind of holds the voltage for a significant amount of time as the battery discharges. So I suspect over time these will keep the fan running faster for longer, even though a stupid alkaline battery might run it faster initially, but I think it would be for a shorter period of time. Alright, let's go ahead and put the batteries in. I hope this still works. I haven't used this in a very long time. I don't think I've used it since I've lived at this house even. And I can't get the cover open. Oh, I hope there's no batteries in here. Nope. Okay, good. And looks like there were never door cells in there because there's no signs of corrosion. Okay. And now we'll go ahead and turn it on. And I have a second microphone here, which I'm going to leave next to the fan, and hopefully that will capture the audio of the fan nicely. If it doesn't, we'll just scrap this and use the regular microphone in the camera. But I've noticed in recent times, and it seems like it's getting worse, the camera makes some kind of a weird clicking or ticking noise. At least the backup one does, which is in worse condition than this one. Yeah, I hear it right now. I hear this one doing it. So I'm hoping that these microphones work well, and so then we don't have to hear that sound. Plus, as I move around the room, the audio level changes if I'm using the camera's onboard microphone. This will not change because the distance I am from the microphone is not changing. So I think that this will provide a much better audio experience as long as the audio from the stuff picks up nicely. So let's go ahead and switch this on. It's only one speed. Oh no, it doesn't work anymore. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't really understand why it wouldn't work. Did I put the batteries in wrong? Or are they just not making a good... I really find it kind of hard to believe that this doesn't work. Huh. That stinks. Well, let me try a different set of batteries. Oh man, I can't believe this doesn't work. Now the other thing that's handy about this is now I can go upstairs and look for some more batteries, and I can continue recording because the audio is still capturing into the video, even though I'm not in the proximity of the camera. I'm going to grab a couple different brands of batteries. We'll grab some Tenergy ones of a different brand, different model. We'll grab some Eneloops, and we'll grab some Energizers. I don't even think I have... Oh, no, wait, you know what? I do. I do have some regular batteries. I have some Ultimate Lithium AA batteries somewhere. The only reason why I think that might make a difference is because sometimes the physical size of the nickel metal hydride batteries is just a hair off from the conventional battery size. I don't know why that is, but sometimes that's the case. And I've had situations where the batteries, because of that slight discrepancy in size, will not make contact with the contacts inside the unit. Hopefully that's what's going on here. Otherwise, if this is busted, that's really a shame. because I don't think so that this is serviceable at all. I just don't understand what would go bad about it. Okay, so put those batteries aside because those did not work. Let's try the envelope batteries. Nope, still no good. Alright, let's try the Energizer Ultimate Lithium batteries. Hopefully there won't be lithium fire as we do this. Nothing. What the heck? I really find this very hard to believe. Go ahead and push the blade a little bit with something. Huh, that's odd. I wonder if the blade just, like the bearings got stuck or whatever from sitting. Whatever, it works now, that's great. Another nice thing about using these microphones is that we don't have to worry about wind noise in the camera. Actually, that moves more air than I remember. I thought it was really abysmal in terms of performance. And it doesn't carry very far, that's for sure, but right up front it's not bad. I do remember that it moved a lot more air with the cord removed, which is pretty typical. Well, I guess now that we have both types of batteries down here, we'll go ahead and swap in the 1.2 volts and see if there's any significant difference. Try the envelopes here. These I think would give us the best shot of working the best with the highest voltage. Oh yeah, there is a difference. It's actually a considerable difference. That is a lot more of a difference than I was expecting. I don't know when the last time I charged up these batteries was, in case they're just low. Let's try something else. I mean, 1.5 versus 1.2 is not a huge difference, but at the same time when you're talking about 1 volt, 0.2 versus 0.5, that it actually is, relatively speaking, a decent difference. I think that's running a little bit faster. Very noisy. There's a distinct brushes sound, I guess that would be. Like 1 click per rotation, you can see it locks in place from the permanent magnets in the motor. Huh, it's stuck again. I wonder if one part of the stator's bad or something. Okay, now it's stuck again. Yeah, there's got to be something partially wrong with the motor. Yeah, probably just a bad spot on there. Alright, I'm about, let's see, 3 feet away. And I can detect that there's air moving, but it's really not much. Really can't feel much of anything past that point. And for the noise this makes, I mean, the airflow is kind of ridiculous. It's a nice aesthetics piece, you know, it'll look nice on a shelf or something, but in terms of practicality, this is so loud that I don't see how you could possibly use this. If I'm, you know, right up close to it, maybe, you know, 15 inches or so, there's an acceptable breeze, but not for the noise. Get the infamous airflow tester out. Yeah, it's definitely pretty weak. And you can see there's very, very little going on, even just 2 feet away from it. Well, it's definitely a disappointment in terms of performance, but the nostalgia is there and it's a pretty cool looking piece.